Good morning, people. Good morning, good morning. Yes, it's little old me. Good morning, good morning. This is Spirit Journey. Good morning. Today is Saturday. Beautiful Saturday, Saturday morning, September 17, 2022. And the time is um, 5 5:16, no, 5:17 a.m. in the morning. Yes, it's very, very dark outside. I love it during these times. I love early morning, people. It is so relaxing. Yeah, I'm drinking my water. I drank most of it. Yeah, I drink try to do a liter of water first thing in the morning. Let me try to open up this. I have to open up the jar again. Yeah, I drink out of a mason jar. Any type of jar would do, or glass. Sorry. Yeah, stay hydrated. Yeah. How you all doing? I feel very relaxed, comfortable in bed. So much is happening mentally. Just a lot. It's like a lot of things are going on the planet. And it's all being done as a distraction to you. That's all. It's all a distractant. So during these quiet moments, it's really a gift. It is a gift. Yes, so much that I wish to really share with you. Um, but I have to be careful when to share certain information. Uh, I'll eventually probably say something. But what I do want to share, yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning. How you all doing? I hope you're doing well. I invite you to say hello in the chat room if you wish. Yes. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. I think it's going to be a beautiful day. Yeah, went out yesterday. Yeah, I had a doctor's appointment. And the weather was getting cool. I wore like long sleeves. But it's getting cool out there. Yeah, I do better in the cooler temperatures now. I used to really like the heat. But um, when your body, you have to listen to what your body says. And yeah, listen to what your body says. And get that jacket as a backup. Yeah, I do better in the cooler weather. But yeah, I did my walking there. It was good. So much is going on in I think all of our lives. So, what will I discuss today? Um, well, I was watching a video this morning, and yeah, I heard it briefly over the news in social media. I want to talk about this busload of people that were sent to Martha's Vineyard. Um, they're people who crossed the our southern border, and they were redirected to a place called Martha's Vineyard. Isn't that where the Obamas go and play? Yeah, that's one of their hangouts. It's a Democrat, what do you call it? The liberals. But what you seem to forget, many of us may forget, that is a very affluent area. Affluent area. The homes are worth in the millions. It's like a hangout, like a summer resort for the wealthy, a certain type of wealthy people. And it had me thinking when I heard the term Martha's Vineyard. I mean the place Martha's Vineyard, and the buses were loaded there. And also I heard about where our VP Harris lives. They went there too. And so the video I was watching was discussing this, that they're being sent in two locations. And this is, what that YouTuber was saying, it is a tit for tat, and we're in the middle. The citizens of this beautiful country are being put in the middle. So you have, as I would call it, children, adult children, who are doing things to try to outdo each other, but you're in the middle, and in jeopardizing your safety for foolery, this tit for tat, tit for tat. So I wanted to kind of talk about that. And there's a way to do things, and there's a way not to do things. Um, but in the end, the citizens of the United States of America are in the middle. Whether you're left or right, up or down, uh, regardless of your race, nationality, etc., you're in the middle. So, politically speaking, um, you're being used, citizens, and its legal residences. You're being put in the middle while a bunch of rich folks, regardless of party, are putting you in the middle and causing stress. Like this, like the past 2.5 years wasn't enough for its citizens. Who would have ever thought something like this would happen? The past 2.5 years. Um, it's like nonstop. It's nonstop. You have people in office with their high degrees and their high bank accounts. Doesn't matter what political party they belong in. But they're using their power and their authority and putting you in the middle and are stressing you out and stressing your resources. Yeah. So I wrote in the description that immigration is being weaponized. It is being weaponized. And I mean, immigration for the past 100 plus years um, was very high. The 1880s, I think all the way up to like the 1930s, immigration was very, very high. And my grandparents came in during that flux. They came in the 1920s. One physically arrived in 1919, but the work he was doing, he worked on a ship, and they would port in, and he would arrive. But I think about I like the 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 I used to romanticize about immigration and stuff like that. That here, the bulk of my grandparents, all four of them were not born on the U.S. mainland. They're all born in the Caribbean. And they all had a dream, I would imagine. And it's interesting that they all seem to leave around the same time, the early 1920s. And again, one's job, 1919, this documentation he arrived, you know, then. But they stayed in the 1920s. Like with millions, there were millions of people who came onto what they call Ellis Island, and they were processed in. Two of them, I think their processing would be different because the U.S. acquired the island that they were living on. So when the U.S. bought the island, the people became instant citizens. And when that happened, they came to the U.S. mainland via Ellis Island. For whatever reasons, they left, just like the millions of people who left their countries. They came here for a reason. They came here for a better life, opportunities, maybe their health, and they stayed. And I used to romanticize about, wow, what it's like to go to a foreign country and you don't speak the language, and you have to learn the language, the culture, this and that. You have to work. These weren't wealthy people at all. Like most people. Most people, you have enough to, you have to save, and then you get your transport, and you might have connections. They had mail, and people would write letters and let their families and friends know how they're doing, and people would follow. Real simple, but I used to romanticize about it. And in the 1990s, I worked in the hotel restaurant industry. I was changing my career and got into uh, pastry arts. Yeah, I went to a school to learn pastry arts. It was a year curriculum. I graduated with honors. Um, I thought it was going to be fun. And during school, I landed a job because I'm that type of person. I don't want to wait until graduation to get a job. I said, I want to get into this right away. That's my issue. I get anxiety, and that's how I deal with my anxiety. Sometimes just go for it. And I was surrounded by people from all over the world. When you work in the big luxury hotels here, you have people from all over the world. And I noticed the people that they have to head the restaurants, the executive chefs, they're all from Europe. That's how they do it. The luxury hotels in New York City, you get them from Europe. They're men. And then you have all type, support staff, multinational. And I loved it. And I used to fantasize that, wow, this is what it might have been like one of my grandparents worked in the cooking field, restaurant or aboard a ship, the food. I assume that, he worked on a ship, and he was one of the cooks. And we have a picture of him with the other uh, cooks slash chefs. They wore those chef hats, I think. Yeah, the white, the uniform, and it's really exciting. And I just really enjoyed it. Some of them used to make these animal noises because they lived, I guess, in an area where they had animals, and they can imitate little animals. And this one guy used to do that. some type of animal, like I guess like a sheep or something like that. And it was funny, I thought, and I felt a part of them, even though I was born and raised here, and I am a veteran of the United States Navy, and oh, what else? Yeah, I enjoyed it. I felt the I still felt a part of them, a kinship with these other immigrants, these new immigrants. But I saw, yeah, I worked in many, many industries. This is just one of many industries. But I saw that um, I was one of the few Americans there. And they pay well in the hotel restaurants because it's union salary. Yeah, you can have a living wage in the cooking industry, in the hotels or the restaurants, the union. And you get benefits, health benefits. It's a great job. Um, but I learned slowly, like the honeymoon was over as time went on, because I was an American and a black female. The cooking field traditionally, black Americans uh, did all the cooking really, for families, rich families or establishments. Black people did the cooking. Black women, I think both men and women did the cooking, but especially black women. We did the cooking. So here, as a so-called black woman in a cooking field, that I was targeted, mistreated, just because of what I am. So here, even so, it didn't matter. Like I used to think, well, maybe subconsciously I didn't like these people. Maybe subconscious vibes I gave off. I used to think that, or must have bad thoughts or something. Something. You don't have to think anything. See, people see you, and you see them, and they're responsible for their own thought lives and attitudes. And I learned as time went on that I wasn't welcome in my own country to work and perform my task without being harassed. And yet, people who new in the country, somehow they got the job in these places that offer good money, good pay. You just coming off the boat or the plane, and you get a job here. It's good money. And as time went on, the aggression, microaggression, and God forbid if you get something and they didn't, they get uh, jealous and the hostilities come out. I learned that the honeymoon was over about certain attitudes, and I think I was maybe considered like a liberal, or maybe a liberal conservative. I was just my how I conduct myself. Um, I guess conservative, but also I like the liberal places. I like to have like to have fun, to socialize. I like the liberal areas. The real hang loose areas. I used to hang out in the Village in New York City. That's a very liberal area. I loved it because I wasn't really bothered there. Yeah, I would hang out in certain areas because I felt like, I felt safer there because I wasn't going to be harassed. I felt, so some areas I just gravitate to. And so, but time went on and on. And so I learned that certain thing here, I'm an American and a veteran. And, that didn't protect me. And again, I thought these were my fellow immigrants, and I was a descendant of immigrants. But I have what's called an American accent, and that wasn't lying because I was considered, this is how I internalize it. I was a symbol of America. I had my American accent, and so I was the bad guy, and I was in the way of these new immigrants because they want my job. Well, I thought it was about sharing, right? I thought it was about sharing. I was the granddaughter of immigrants. So I saw myself as a descendant of immigrants, and I was really no different than these newcomers. I enjoyed working with these people, but I learned that they didn't, uh, it wasn't reciprocated because I was the symbol of they wanted my job. And I thought, wow, back in hindsight, some of the other locations where I worked, and the same type of behavior. I love the fantasy of the immigrant wanting something better in life, wanting to move up and explore the new environment. I love the fantasy. But reality kicked in. Yeah, certain industries here in America are really now designed not for Americans and not for Black Americans. And it's geared for new people, new arrivals, for their new dreams. And their new dreams don't include you. But I thought it's about sharing and loving and things like that. I really did. Yeah. And see, these liberal parties are promoting the fantasy that we're all equal and that the bad rich people are making it difficult because they're bigots and things like that, and they're against you, immigrant. Well, who is doing all the work in these rich folks' homes? The immigrants. Immigration is being weaponized. And whether you're the grandchild of immigrants, you have an American accent and American ways, raised in American institutions. I consider myself an American with grandparents who came to the U.S. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah, it started glitching. Yeah, haven't done that in a long time. Yeah. So the system is tapping onto the live stream, and they're shutting it down because I used this particular word, the W. Okay. So I can't say that anymore. But that's what's happening. And so it was a wake up call to me. And some of them are violent and will physically assault you. And somehow they get protected and not you. But yet the liberals, who's supposed to be the good guy, yeah, because remember, the liberals are good and they're about having equality with income and opportunities, right? Well, did you know that there are some liberals that have a lot of money and they live in their exclusive neighborhoods? And so, like what's happening recently, what just happened, um, see, for the past 6 years, we were told the narrative that this particular person was a bad person and that they were racist. And some of these so called minorities here ate it up and had you getting all rowdy, which was by design. And if this person would have been doing what's being done now, okay, now we have borders, and our southern border, um, see, we're being played, people. It doesn't matter what side you're on, whether you're the left or right or in the middle. You, its citizens, are being set up, and I don't like it. So I heard about an, another thing with the south of the border. Um, they have these buses, these brand new, clean looking buses. And it has the people that were coming from the south of the border. And you know, anyone could come from the border. It's multinational. Many nationalities are coming through there, not just one group. So many of you might think it's one group. No, there are many nationalities. But they're coming in, they're being put in these buses. And you know, some of these buses are actually on the other side of the border, not on our side, but on the opposite side. Brand new buses. And if you look how the people dress, they dress very nice and clean, and they have backpacks. See, they initially want you to think that they trekked 4,000 miles or something like that and are hungry and starving. No, they're being sponsored, brought in, and in my opinion, to destabilize. But I'm sure many of these people in their own mind and think, hey, I want a new opportunity. I want to have my kid educated and live the American dream, just like my grandparents, right? But these people are being that W word also. They may not know they're being used as pawns in a chess game. They just want to, hey, have their kids here, have opportunities like every other person. And then somehow they're bringing, who's paid for the bus ride, their ticket? See, once you know, I did share with you guys my interest in moving overseas. And you know, when you to legally do something costs money and time, and you have to make plans, it doesn't happen just overnight. It's a very pricey thing to do. I shared with you guys. If you have pets, you have to get them examined. You have to get their shots. You have to have a specific type of crate to put them in. You have to get the papers, their import papers and their export papers, which all cost money. And then you have to get their tickets. And then you have to get your own tickets. You have to get the you have to get the tested for the that particular uh, pathogen. You have to do your packing. You have to have all your documents. It is costly. You have to get a bank account. You have to maybe handle wire transfers of funds. which takes time and money. So um, I appreciate when, you know, someone who's legally coming into your country, you know, because they have to pay to get in, pay the system through, you know, getting the visas and all that other paperwork. It all costs money and time. So you want someone legally in your country because the process of them coming in, they're paying to come here. While with someone who does not have the papers, they're paying the piper, they're paying a criminal, and that money does not go in our system, the legal system, to support, you know, the what do you call it, the school system, the sanitation system, you know, you know where your taxes are going to go into. Someone who's illegal is not paying into the system of support over the legal aspect to keep the streets clean, to pick up the garbage, school systems, municipality, all these things. It costs money. And if they're not paying or coming in through, if they're coming in through hidden ways, when they bring their children, what classroom are they going to go into? They're going to occupy the seats, crammed. You know, who's gonna suffer when there are not enough seats in the room, or the class is so big, and let's say you have a child that might be a little slow, needs tutoring or you know more time on the subject, they're gonna suffer. But it seems like this system for the newcomers are being catered to. Oh, you need ESL? Oh, okay, we're going to pump in ESL teachers. That's English as a second language. But what if English your first language, but you don't have a good command because of, you know, lack of education? Or medical. Let's say you're legal, but you don't have enough money for paying hospital bills. Well, with some illegals, they could go into any public hospital and be catered to, and it's coming out of your pocket. You're a citizen, you're paying your taxes and all that. It's coming out of your pocket and resources. And they don't say thank you to you, but they may want your job. And you go around, you want to talk to them, this, oh wow, meeting people from exotic countries, and they're thinking, get away from me. You're in my way, and I want your job, and I want to come in your neighborhood to live, and we're going to have a lot of children. We're going to dominate the classroom and make our language the number one language. We're being catered to, and we're going to push you out. And we're not going to hire you either when we get jobs. So either way, with the border now. So they're being sponsored in these buses, brand new buses. They look beautiful. And they dress very nice and clean. But don't they have to take the that C-19 test? Make sure that they're not carrying, you know, or infectious, whatever. But me, as I share with you that I'm planning on moving, I would be required to take that test to just board that plane. Do they have to have documents that they're not infectious when they board that bus? And then when you land there, sometimes you have to take a test when you land there. And definitely when you have to leave that country, right? So, um, we're being fooled. I mean, we're being. I can't say that W word because they'll hurt my the lives, the stream status, as you saw a couple of minutes ago when I said the W word, WEAPONRY. And so they got angry. Well, the South border got angry. And they said, we're going to take these people in buses and we're going to bring them to, our VP, the VP of the nation. Oh, what's her name? Uh, Kamala. Brought it to her house. But I should say the gates of her house. She got a giant fence. Our VP, and they talk about the borders are secure, but yet they had the camera crew there and police, and they warned the people who were there, the people who came in the buses, that they better not get too close because they have to protect our fence slash border. A fence is a border. Yes, it is. But soon when they were near her house, why is it that it's an issue now? Isn't that administration all about equality? They have an Oreo um, administration, right? Yeah, I use that term Oreo. The cookies taste great actually. But yeah, all of a sudden it's an issue for Kamala, and she's worried. And then they had a talk, and you can see the anxiety that she has. See, these factions, political factions on both sides, using you in the middle, and also exploiting these immigrants who just want a place to live in the best country in the world. Um, and you hear someone asking them, "Do you know where you're going?" To the immigrants, the or slash illegals slash guest worker. And they may not know where they're going. They just maybe following instructions. Just stay here, stand over here. Okay, you can sit over there. They may not know where their destination is on that bus. They could be told anything. Well, that governor of the south of the border sent these buses up north to the sanctuary cities. Sanctuary city, sanctuary. That. See, they use in biblical terms. The term sanctuary city is a term that's used in the Bible in the Old Testament. Um, it was a place where if you committed a certain crime, let's say it was on accident, you have a place of refuge where you can stay until things get worked out. And so you're protected, and they're not supposed to harm you. So that's where they get that term from. So they set up all these sanctuary cities throughout America, and it's to destabilize. So it's okay. The south of the border got fed up and said, we're going to send you right there to those sanctuary cities. One place was where Kamala, the VP, lives. Yet they had the police there. Oh, don't get too close to the border, to the fence. We don't want them on the fence. And they went to interview the police that were there. Oh, no comment. No comment. Why is no comment? It's a sanctuary city. And why they're being prevented to uh, have their liberty living in the sanctuary, to be next to their VP, who's all embracing of these what they call undocumented workers. So if certain people did what Kamala is doing, or that police officer who's by her fence, and it was a giant fence, way over 6 feet, way over 6 feet, because it was taller than the people there. So if you require a fence slash border, and you don't even want guest workers standing by the fence, they weren't climbing the fence, they weren't even trying to touch it, they were just there. Because they had the buses, the people to dismount the bus, and they're walking around in this sanctuary city that she's promoting. Well, all of a sudden it's a problem. If any other administration did that, wouldn't they be called racist? So it's only racist if you're a certain color or a certain political party. You're only a racist if you're a certain type of a certain demographic. You're doing two of the same things to have them removed because you don't want their presence there. They didn't do anything illegal. You brought them in. You sponsored them. You pay for the bus ride. They have food. These people didn't walk thousands of miles to the border, south of the border. No, they were being brought in. They were fed. They were clean. The clothes were clean. Everything like you're going on vacation. And they were brought to Kamala's house. Well, I should say, by her house. And the fear that happened, and those cops say, you can't come near here. You gotta leave. Why? So they want you in your neighborhood. And guess where else would they brought them? They brought them to Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard, as I mentioned earlier, that is a neighborhood. It's a what? How do you say? It has more status or more imagery than anything else. It's a quiet little area, but everybody that lives it got money. It's a money area. Their vacation homes, they're in the millions. It's a status type neighborhood. Like you got Hollywood, certain parts of Hollywood, like Beverly Hills. You got the Martha's Vineyard neighborhood, but it's a quiet neighborhood. They sent the illegal slash guest workers slash, and they bust them there too. And they're complaining, and there's a problem now. They will talk about resources. Oh, so is she a bigot now? See, they got caught in the game. See, right now, people are being put in the middle, and you have these leaders, so-called leaders, politicians, and they're playing ping pong. and you're in the middle. The ping pong game is going back and forth. Now they're getting ridiculous. It's ridiculous because it's harming people, the stability of our nation, the people who just want a place to, they want a nice job, a nice place to live, like everybody else on this planet. And then being used in politics to outdo the opponent. So whether you're the left or right, it doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter. So this is what's happening. We're put in the middle, the citizens and these immigrants slash illegal slash guest workers, whatever we want to call them, being brought now to Martha's Vineyard. And it's school time too. Those kids, because it's Sanctuary City, these kids now could go and apply to go to school, public school. They have a right. You think the classrooms are big enough? That's okay. Oh, English as a second language? Okay, we're going to provide more funding for these teachers. Forget about the American people, American students who might need a tutor or whatever. They, maybe they don't, you know, they might come from families with modest education. All the funding is going to go for other people because their rights have to be protected. But now you have the people that live in this Martha's Vineyard, also $1 million homes, limited resources, sanctuary city, right? They're complaining, but they're not being told that they're bigots. Why? Because they belong to the left. Well, you could be left, right, left, or whatever. It's intent. Bigotry, racism, hatred is universal. And it's being played here. This ping pong game. And it's causing problems. I thought we had that V word, V's and Victor. I thought that thing, and the fall is coming. The season of fall or autumn is around the corner. So you're going to have flu season, people, flu season. So you're going to have the new guest workers, guest visitors, undocumented. They're going to be in the classrooms. Again, they have to have a place to live. The weather's starting to get cold, and it's it's colder up north. Yeah, it's getting cool now. So you're going to be prone to getting colds and flus. So they're going to have a new pandemic, probably, right? They're going to have a new. Now, it's going to be interesting. Are these new immigrants? Are they going to be required to get the jab? I mean, now they're offering in New York City, where I live, shots for the monkey. You know what? Yeah, the monkey is here. They said it's out again. And they're offering shots for people who already had a shot. They said 28 days ago. They said if you had the first shot 28 days ago, you specifically can get your second shot now. Wow. Let me get some water. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very sad about all this. I don't want anybody in the middle, and I don't want anybody hurt. But to see both factions of government doing things that is because they want to make a point. That's why they did what they did. They want to make a point. It's okay, our borders are secure. Okay, we're just going to bring them over in buses and we're going to park them right outside your home. Yeah, they put it in DC, put in there. It's awful. Yeah, but see, they don't, the current administration is not being censored in the media. If this was another administration, they'd be on it, condemning them. But see, it's not being done now. See, even they have their limitations, the left, and they're going to do, they're going to do what's beneficial to them. But when things come knocking at your door, you got to speak out. Things were knocking on my door the past, 20, 20 about 26 years. The past 26 years, especially. Things just switched. Boom. I love this country. I love it. I just don't like what's happening. I love being a New Yorker. I love living in New York City. I love it here. But it's not safe. It's growing more and more unsafe. It's becoming more and more unsafe. Dirty. Rats. Not just one or two, but swarms. Last year, around this time, we had an infestation of rats along 8th Avenue, which is a strip where all the tourists go. I thought it was awful. But yet it's a pandemic. It was a pandemic, but yet they're not cleaning the streets. Rats carry diseases. Did you know that? So that's why I mentioned it like that things are being, that W word, W, what's that? WEAPONRY. I hope I spelled it right. Yeah, that's what's happening. Oh God, I really want safety for all of us. This is a great place. And I feel that, see, I wanted to leave because I sensed something happening. I sensed that this W is, it's going to be pulling down people's health also. See, they want you to get the jibber jab in the arm. They are using it to hurt you and then limiting your ability of freedoms to move about. They're more and more encroaching on your space, your boundaries. And soon they're going to tie your arms so you can't even protect yourself. And that's my concern. Things are happening, and things are happening globally. Yeah, I share these things because It is documented. This is my means of documentation, documenting what's going on in these big cities. I'm sure it's happening in other big cities. And I'm seeing more and more of the soy boys, as I call them, the soy boys. And you have more people doing the marijuana. Do you think they're putting stuff in that marijuana? The behavior of the people, and just go in New York City and see who's doing the smoking the weed. Look at them. Who do you see mostly going to those places to buy that weed, and then watch their behavior when you see them? I don't know. Something's not right, people. Yeah, they're setting us up. They're setting us up. And they're going to weaponize, oops, I'm not supposed to say that word. They're going to do that thing. And you're in the middle. While these rich people in government, they have places where they can hide. They have underground um, sanctuary places for these politicians. Because remember, you have to have the continuity of the government. So they have their places to hide. They're playing their game, but you're in the middle. Whether you're rich or poor citizens, you don't have access in those underground cities. And it's also what do you call it? Hurricane season now. So you got the hurricanes, you got all those other things happening. I ask for mercy. I ask for mercy over the city. I love this city. Please pray for our city, all these cities here, to protect its citizens and its lawful residences here who went through the process legally, good citizens, good residents, just making their way, and they're in jeopardy too. We are all in the middle. And no matter what spectrum you're on, it is being infringed upon. And you're all going to see you're really in the same boat. Doesn't matter where you come from, what your political party, what your orientation is, it doesn't matter anymore. Everything is being WEAPONIZED. Yeah, yeah, I love it here. I don't really know what else to say right now. Yeah, I see that, um, sunrise will come up today at 6:30, was it 6:38 a.m.? Yes, 6:38 a.m. Right now it's 6:16. So we got like about like 20 minutes or something like that. 18 minutes. Wait a minute. Yeah, about that's it. Um, yeah, about 20 minutes. Yeah, this is a special time of the day. Very special moment. Things are really happening quicker. And yes, with the Queen, yeah, things are happening for a reason, even over there across the sea. Yeah, I did watch it. A lot of the stuff. See, there's a time and season for everything. It's not by accident that yeah, she was. older person. She was 96 years of age, yes. Um, See, we all have an assignment. She had her assignment. 70 years on the throne. That's not by accident. 70. 70 years on the throne. Things are happening there. Yeah. And interesting, they have a female prime minister. You notice when they get female prime ministers, female presidents, don't you always see that something that they allow certain things to happen? And I'm a woman, so I'm not trying to be biased, but it seems like they use women when there's a buffer, something that they want to facilitate, something happen, a vulnerability happen. So they place a woman in there, and then they replace them. Yeah. So Britain's getting uh, its temporary band-aid with the female prime minister. But may she do well. I want us to do well. But it just always seems like, so here you have a monarchy, a female monarchy, who dies, and then they put in a female prime minister. But they're going to put in a male king. Yeah, Britain, watch out. Watch out, Britain. Things are happening. Things are happening quickly. But um, I don't want to be afraid of. I have to be careful the way I think. I'm just calling how I see it. How I see it. See, I don't want to be afraid of death and dying. I don't want to be afraid. I've been afraid all my life. Afraid of everything. But being a YouTuber now is, I'm tapping into my feelings, my understandings, and I say, this is all a part of the whole fiber of life. Life has its ups and downs. Life has a season. The former queen had her season. There's a new season. And now we're going to have a new season of autumn. It's late summer, but autumn is right around the corner. That's coming in. It's always a new season of life. And life is cyclic. And I'm starting to understand that concept, especially since I've been going to the park. And you see the pattern. You see, like, first the leaves are, first there's no leaves on the trees, and then the little buds come in, and then the leaves grow, and then it gets a darker green, and the flowers and all that. It reaches its peak, then the leaves start to shrivel up. They turn color, and then they fall off, and it repeats again. Life is a cycle. And the human body is a cycle also. And I'm slowly starting to see that pattern. And I said, why should I be afraid? Why should I be afraid? Yes, they're trying to scare us with these pandemics. There's always been the letter V, virus, es. It's in the air, everywhere. You cannot. We don't live in a vacuum. Life has its cycles, but they are WEAPONIZE. I hope I spelled it right. That's what they're doing. They're taking the natural and they're perverting it and using it to hurt the people on this planet, to hurt the animals on this planet, to hurt the plant life. This world system is being hijacked. It's hijacked. And it's taking the natural and they're what they call, oh, there's a word for it. When they take the natural environment and then they cater, they cater it to their physical needs. That's what they're doing. There's a word for it. Yeah, there are people out here, beings out here, that are exploiting humanity. Terraforming, that's the word, terraforming. Terraforming this planet for their physical needs. And that's what the movie The Matrix was about. Remember these people that come to the planet Earth, through the robot, and then they changed the environment to suit its own, and then you became the new slave slash battery. But you know, what happened today happened yesterday, and what happened yesterday's happened today. I hope what lessons I'm supposed to learn in all this, that I hope I learn the lessons and move forward in life. I don't want to walk in fear anymore. Whether I have to stay here in America or if I'm able to move, you know, you can't run away from life. And I have to remind myself that. But I ask for mercy and protection over me and my little babies here. I'm concerned about my little babies, my little fur babies, that is. I'm very concerned about them, their safety. But you know, this is a life, and I want to live it to the fullest. I don't understand where I place in this game, but I'm in it, and I want to do my best. And I hope I really get to learn and understand my life, where I fit in this picture, and may I have a happy, healthy life. And so I wish the same for you. I wish the same for you. Yeah, they want to make us fear, but you know what's coming to upon me right now. I feel peace right now. I know I'm saying a lot of stuff, but you know, if they get you, they get you. Something you cannot avoid. They don't get my soul. They do not get my soul. Yeah, let's stand proud and strong today, no matter what is facing us. We are victorious. We are winners. And we are worthy subjects. Yeah. May you have a wonderful day, whether you live in a big city like New York City or whether you live in a small little country town. I wish you health, wealth, and happiness. Yeah. Peace, love, and joy to you. And I thank you for watching this live stream. Yeah. You can write your comments below. Share this video with friends, family members. And keep it on. Okay? Have a great day. And drink your water. Okay? Yes. Bye-bye.